Hey guys, this is Justin back with an engineer's perspective with a quick mini review on the Shun Classic 6-inch utility knife. Quick specs. So the blade is 6 inches long with a height of 27.5 millimeters, spine thickness of 2 millimeters, weight of 79 grams or 2.8 ounces. It has a handle diameter at its widest point of 18.2 millimeters, and it has a balance right here between the bolster and the handle. It is made in Japan by the Kai Corporation. It is not a full tang knife. The blade is made and then they weld on this bolster, finish it up real pretty like, and then attach the handle via some glue. It's got this nice little D-shaped handle with this pretty looking end cap. These have proven to be a fairly robust handle, so don't let what I just mentioned concern you. They also have a very good warranty that will definitely cover that, so no sweat there. The steel is VG Max. It's kind of a pretty notable upgrade to VG10, but it has some drawbacks as well. They harden it to 60-61 Rockwell. Some of the drawbacks of the steel is that because it has so much of the alloying elements in the steel, that it can be a little bit brittle, which is why from the factory Shun will sharpen these to 16 degrees per side, and it'll be 8 thousandths right behind the cutting edge. So what that gives you is a very nice cutting knife, even though it's 16 degrees per side as compared to some of the other competitors that aren't quite as thinly ground behind the edge. And that 16 degree per side angle is really recommended from myself and my own experience with these knives, just because that VG Max is a little bit brittle at that hardness and with the chemistry that they have. Let's see what else. Performance of it. So like I mentioned, it's very, very thin. It's very slicey. One of my favorite things about this knife is how thin the tip is. It actually has some good flex just right there at the very tip. It's very nice for if you're gonna peel something, you can set it on your cutting board and just kind of flex that tip like a fillet knife and get right in there. It's also good for some finer tasks. So I've got like a shallot here. It can be used on the cutting board, but you don't have the knuckle clearance. So if you want to use it on the cutting board, you got kind of one of two options. The first being just to kind of use your tip there, and the tip is fairly well situated for that. Sorry, I'm just peeling this shallot here because it's got like, it's a belly but also flat there in the back, so it's kind of a slow, gentle roll up to the tip, and it comes down a decent amount. So it's a good tip that's easy to control, so you can do a lot of work with the tip, or you can bring your board off to the edge of your table or your counter, and then you can see I can get down to the base. So for this shallot, I'm just gonna go 2, and this is really where it shines, is in these kind of finer details, and I'm working off the board here. And I can get that nice, beautiful mince there. Let's toss it over there. Or alternatively, if you were to just work with the tip like I was saying, it would kind of look like this action. And that works too. So it's a pretty good knife. I like it a decent amount, especially with that thin blade and thin cutting geometry. I do want to note that it is, once again, too short to get real knuckle clearance, and this handle is fairly thin. So if you like beefier handles, then that might be an issue for you. And just to kind of roll in a comparison, this is the Kikuichi MV 150 millimeter petty, and you can see kind of the difference in handle girth there, and whereas the Shun is very round, the Kikuichi is a little bit more blocky and kind of get a little bit more control there. In terms of sharpening it, don't use a steel honing rod. I recommend a ceramic honing rod, or what my preference is, strops. So kind of the way I operate this knife is I will generally strop it weekly, and then I'll sharpen it on sharpening stones, usually up to a 1K or 3K finish, maybe every 2 months or so, because this utility knife doesn't see as much board contact. So probably every 2 months I like to do it personally, but your mileage may vary. So that's all I've got for you. That is the Shun 6-inch utility knife classic right there. So thank you for watching. Have a good one. Bye.